You're listening to WDBFradio.com, a tune-in station.
Do you own a laser printer, copier, or a fax? Well then, listen close to this announcement. Laser Technologies has been providing high-quality, frustration-free toner cartridges that are guaranteed not to harm your equipment for over 20 years. Laser Technologies will save you on your supplies with high quality and fast delivery. Savings up to 50%. Laser Technologies supplies toner, imaging drums, developer and cartridges for most of the major brands. For a price quote, send an email to service@laser-technologies.com. Include your printer make and model for your part number. Call us at 561-792-9600. That's 561-792-9600. Laser Technologies, providing 100% of the quality at a fraction of the price. 561-792-9600.
Hi folks, I'm Roger from Rogers Gotcha Motoring. If you need a local auto repair shop, Rogers Gotcha Motoring will take care of all of your automotive repair needs. If you need something as simple as an oil change or as complex as an engine overhaul, I have the latest in technology and the knowledge to get the job done right. We've been servicing Pinellas County since 1994 and are conveniently located at 3700 5th Avenue North in St. Petersburg, Florida. If you need service, call now at 727-327-1830 or visit my website at www.rogersgotchamotoring.com or like my Facebook page at Rogers Gotcha Motoring for a complete list of all of our services. So come on over to Rogers, that's me, and get your car service today. And don't forget to shop and support local business. Call now to book your appointment at 727-327-1830. That's 727-327-1830, or swing on by.
Que Pasa Mexican Cantina is where friends and neighbors come to connect, share, and celebrate one another in a festive, casual atmosphere. Offering rich, robust flavors of authentic Mexican cuisine, we use only the freshest, finest ingredients. We chop and dice, season and blend, and then cook everything we serve to perfection. One thing that makes Mexican food even better is one of our delicious Best of the Bay margaritas. Our signature series of margarita flavors range from our sweet and fruity mango and strawberry to our hot and juicy jalapeno margarita. Having a busy meeting or getting together and looking for Mexican food? Try our Fast Fax form. It's an easy, fast way to order your favorite Mexican food. We have special platters and layouts for any occasion. The form is super easy to fill out, fax, email, or just call it in. Whether it's here in the restaurant, in your home or office, at Que Pasa we celebrate bringing people together. Que Pasa Mexican Cantina, 10478 Roosevelt Boulevard North Street in the Gateway Shopping Center, 727-330-3663 in St. Petersburg.
Test 1, 2, 3. Test 1, 2, 3. Hey, this is Captain Hook for Statewide Pest Control Services. They've been serving the west coast of Florida since 1987. Statewide does it all. Pest control, termites, lawns, mosquitoes, tent fumigations, etc. This announcement is from their mold division. Since Hurricane Charlie in 2004, all their personnel are certified in mold and moisture control. Their two-step services are guaranteed to get you back in your home quicker and in most cases paid by your insurance company. Give them a call at 877-488-7378. That's Statewide Pest Control Services for all your pests and mold control needs, serving Florida from Pasco to Lee counties. Statewide Pest Control Services, 877-488-7378. 877-488-7378. That's 877-488-7378. You're listening to WDBFradio.com, a tune-in station.
I grab my fishing pole and cast it in the water. I fish until dawn. Oh my, I caught a shark. I'm fishing and blowing on when the sun shines all day.
This is Fish Florida with your hosts Rascala Stevens and Devin Canhine.
Good morning. It is the Fish Florida Show. I am your host, Riscala, waiting for my co-host, my sidekick, Devin. He is caught up in a little bit of traffic this morning. Hope you are enjoying this beautiful weather. I don't know where you're at, but here in South Florida, particularly in Palm Beach County where I'm located, it is an absolutely gorgeous morning. We have one or two clouds in the sky. It is blue and pretty out there. It is a nice, crisp, clear morning, probably about 64, 65 degrees. A beautiful day to go out there and enjoy the outdoors, which Devin says, which I like so much, bringing the outdoors to you. That's what we enjoy doing, bringing the outdoors to you, providing you with information, hopefully that will help you enjoy that excursion and make it more memorable. Part of the passion that I have is the unification of our families. I believe that this country was built upon the backs of families, and doing outdoor activities like fishing or camping or boating or kayaking or hunting, doing that together, as you experience that together, increases the bonds between people. And this is one of the reasons that I do what I do. It's one of the reasons that I'm here this morning is to do what I can to promote that as much as possible. One thing that we lack in this country that I see is the pressure that is put on the marriages of this country, the couples of this country. There is so much pressure for people to stay together today, and everywhere you look, it seems like there is some kind of a marital issue or a relationship issue of some sort, and it really does create a devastating effect on our society. When we have something that we do together, we enjoy that experience together, it truly does increase the bonds between people, and the end result is a better relationship. And I don't know anybody that would not agree with me that it would be nice to have good relationships with people. Fishing's a lot of fun. When I was growing up, my dad took us fishing 2-3 times a month, and it wasn't just down to the corner. We would take trips. I lived in Coral Gables at the time, which is inside of Miami, and we would take trips from Coral Gables down to the Keys, sometimes all the way down to Key West. We would spend hours driving and get down to the Keys. We'd do some fishing, spend a day or two, and then we'd come back. And throughout that experience, what I found is, as we got older, the family was very close. My family is a very close-knit family. My brother is my best friend. I don't think I could have asked God for a better brother. I really don't. And I think a lot of that played a part of that. A big part of that, I'm just going to get my words straight because it's still early in the morning, I'm still drinking coffee. A big part of that, I believe, is my dad holding us together, taking us out on excursions, and almost always was fishing. There was a couple of other things we did, but almost always my dad loved fishing. And so now as an adult, I spend at least one day a week with my kids that my dad taught me to do. And we do a wide variety of things. But the important point that I'm trying to make to you is you have an opportunity. It's a beautiful day out there today. You have an opportunity before you, a full day. It's still just 8 o'clock in the morning. Get out there and do something. Do something with somebody that you love, somebody that you care about. Increase the bond of your relationship by sharing an experience. Go out there, do fishing, boating. It's a beautiful day. I don't know what the seas are like. We'll find out here in a little while. I have several people calling in today who will give us some reports about what's going on out there on the water. But get out there and enjoy it. I mean, this is what we're here in South Florida for. The majority of the people that live here because we like the weather. And I know sometimes people curse me when I say that, especially during the middle of summer. I feel like it's an oven out there. But right now, that doesn't feel that way. Right now, it's those days that we wait for here in South Florida. Get out there and enjoy yourself. Take your kids, take your loved ones. Get out there and have a good time. And in that process of doing that, believe it or not, the relationships that you have will be stronger. It will be the bonds will be greater. It'll be more difficult. The pressure that comes against your family will not be as relevant because your family has built strong bridges, and those bridges won't easily be torn down. Our society, the way things work today, there's so much pressure on the family to tear the family down. And again, this is one of my passions. Keep the family together. Keep the united in the United States. And enjoy yourselves and go out there and have a good time. So I got a lot of people coming on today. Let's see. One of my first guests will be Robert Warner. Robert is with the Florida Fisherman Magazine. If you are not familiar with the Florida Fisherman magazine, you can find him online. He's going to tell us a little bit about what's going on in his realm and share with us some information this morning. So let me do that. Let me bring Robert on. Robert, good morning. Thank you so much for calling in, and welcome to the show, sir.
Well, good morning, everyone. How are you doing today?
I'm in, I don't know where you're at, but where I'm at, it is just absolutely a picture perfect morning here.
I am in Jensen Beach, and it is beautiful here. So,
oh my goodness,
it's another glorious day in Florida. But fishing report is good. Patrick Price, who was out of here, went out the other day, came back with 33 dolphin on a full day trip. So they are back. And if you see anything floating, you can pretty much count on there being dolphin and triple tails under it. So,
wow.
Seeing a lot of triple tails coming in. There's a lot of redfish coming in on the West Coast. And now you can start looking for the cobia to be coming into shallow water on both sides, on the East Coast and the West Coast. So if the fishing's going to be for the next 2 or 3 months, it's the best that we have. So everybody get out there and
get out there and wet a line, ladies and gentlemen. The dolphin. How deep was the dolphin running?
160 feet.
So not too far offshore then.
No, not too bad at all.
And do you have any idea how the seas are? I did not look this morning.
This has actually been good. We've been running, 2 to 3 and 3 to 5. It's much better than it was the previous several weeks, because for several weeks there we had some pretty rough seas. It calmed down last week, so everybody had a chance to get out. We got a lot of fishing reports that came in last week. Weather is much improved, and so are the seas. At least for now, we can, as a matter of fact, I'm sitting here right now, and there is absolutely no wind whatsoever. So it should be a calm morning out there for those who are out there.
So there's a saying about strike when the iron is hot. Ladies and gentlemen, today the iron being the weather. Strike because It is hot. I'm telling you, hot in the sense that it is a beautiful, perfect day out there. Not hot in the sense of literally. Hot in the sense that this is just beautiful weather waiting for you to get out there and enjoy it. Any word about bottom fishing?
March, April, and May are my favorite months to fish. The weather is better. It's not as hot as it's going to be this summer, even though the fishing will be great in the summer. The weather is best right now. The fishing is great. So if you got a chance to get out there, get out there. So. I'm sorry to interrupt you. Go ahead.
That's okay. Any word on bottom fishing? What's happening on the bottom?
Lots of mutton snapper coming in. They got pictures came in from the Keys this morning. Lots of mutton snappers coming in off the reef, and a lot of mangrove snappers too. There's some huge mangrove snappers being caught in various places around the state, mostly on the East Coast, but on the West Coast, they're still catching grouper, even though they got to give them back, and there's a lot of sheepshead coming in.
I wasn't aware of that. On the West Coast, there's a grouper ban?
No, season's over. That's all.
Oh. I was, ignorant me. I wasn't aware there was a season on grouper, for Pete's sake. Is that just on the West Coast?
Both coasts. Yep.
Really? Well, see,
and it opens again on May 1st, so... I always fish. As a matter of fact, my buddy Jorge and I always fish opening day of grouper season, May 1st. So May 1st on the East Coast. I don't know. I'll have to look up the date. I'll have it for you next week for the West Coast opening. But East Coast is May 1st is the first day of grouper season. So,
wow.
You can start keeping them again.
I have to catch my breath on that. I honestly, I did not know. Just one of those things. So let's say that we want to go do some snapper fishing. What do you think they're baiting for these snappers?
Mostly just cut bait. It depends if you're mutton snapper fishing and you happen to have caught an amberjack in the couple of days before. Amberjack roe is like feeding chocolate to mutton snapper.
Oh wow!
So if you ever cleaning an amberjack and there's amberjack roe in there, keep it. It's the best mutton snapper bait I have ever found.
So it works excellent as chum then.
I wouldn't use it for chum because it's too valuable as bait, but you can use the rest of the amberjack for chum though. But keep the amberjack roe for bait. And but other than that, cut bait, cut ballyhoo, any of that will work for muttons. And or for lanes if you're deep dropping, or it depends on where you're fishing. But you know, cut bait works pretty well for snapper. They're used to cut bait. And
so if we're talking about the dolphin fishing, most of the dolphin fishing that I've experienced is done primarily by trolling first, and then running into a school, and then holding up at the school, chumming the water, and cleaning up on the school. Is that what you're finding is going on?
Yep. Just make sure if you run into a school that you keep one in the water, because they all follow each other. So if you've got one on, just keep the first one at the boat, and the rest will come to him. And you can normally work that school for 5 to 10 minutes before they disperse, but gives you plenty of time to catch a lot of fish pretty quickly. And they're a lot of fun to catch, and they're even better to eat.
Goodness.
So
that's one of my favorites. Is not only are they fun to catch, but they are one of the best fish. It's very difficult, in my experience, to ruin dolphin unless you overcook it and dry it out. But other than that,
yeah, that's pretty much the only way to ruin it. Overcook it.
Yeah, you can bake it, you can fry it, you can barbecue it, and it always comes out so delicious. It's one of the best fishes I have experience with out there. Anything going on that you can tell me about freshwater?
Not yet. Don't have anybody on freshwater. We're primarily an offshore magazine, but we're working on that. We got a captain or a guide actually from Lake Okeechobee that's going to be joining us, so we'll have some freshwater reports coming up. So.
Oh, excellent. And again, the magazine is?
The magazine is at www.flfishmag.com, and there's going to be some changes for those who didn't get out to the boat show. There's going to be some stuff from the boat show coming up on the next issue, too. We were out at the boat show Thursday. Tyler is out there yesterday, and today we're going to have some stuff from the boat show, too.
Excellent. And did the new, what am I trying to say, the new issue, is it up now online?
No, it will be up the 20th.
Target date
It'll be up on the 20th.
And it is called the Florida Fisherman
Magazine.
Yep. Well, I greatly appreciate it, Robert. Thank you so much for taking the time to call in. It is always an honor to have you on. You're always got some interesting information for me. And I wish you a wonderful day and a beautiful day at that. And we'll be talking to you shortly. Thanks again.
Hope y'all have a great day. Catch you later.
Thanks,
Have a
Robert.
good day, Robert.
So, ladies and gentlemen, that's Robert Warner. He is with Florida Fisherman Magazine. And the one and only Devin has shown up this morning. Good morning, Devin.
Good morning. Good morning. Got into a little traffic on the way here. Sorry, I'm late.
That's all right. You're here. That's what counts.
Absolutely. Beautiful day today in South Florida.
Oh, my goodness. I was just saying this morning when I was first getting on, what a beautiful, gorgeous day. Some of the few days that we live in South Florida for. I'm looking outside, and I see blue skies, and just the temperature is just crisp.
The temperature is great, and I heard you guys talk about the dolphin fishing. The dolphin fishing has been really good this week. Really good this week.
This is the times that I wish I had a boat to get out there and do some of that dolphin fishing.
You know, and when you're done dolphin fishing, if you want to go snapper fishing, the snapper bite has turned on. The mangrove snapper have been biting. The yellowtails have been biting. It's all been on the inside on the reef. So either on your way back in or on your way out, you can do some snapper fishing, do some drift fishing for snapper. Most of the time it's on the way back in after you catch a couple dolphin, come back in and do some snapper fishing, make a whole day trip out of it.
So Robert was saying cut bait for snapper. Is that what you like?
When I fish for snapper, it depends on what I'm targeting for the snapper. If I'm fishing for the yellowtails, I'll use cut bait. If I'm fishing for the buttons, I use a different variety of baits.
Mm-hmm. Do you use lures when you're fishing for snapper?
No. I always use dead bait when I'm fishing for snapper.
Yeah, that's my experience as well. I've never had any success using a lure trying to what's the word I'm looking for? Entice one of these guys out. It's always been some kind of bait, whether it's dead or live.
Yeah, in between dead bait, live bait. It depends if we're fishing either up here in the Keys. We'll utilize a chum slick. Most of the time, we don't up here. The current does move fast, and some of the snapper in deeper water. Sometimes we do use a chum slick because, it really depends on the time of year. Because we do, depending on where you're fishing here, we're inundated sometimes with the sharks offshore, and that's the last thing you need is the tax man coming and taking one of your snappers that you work so hard for.
Wow. Well, we're up against a break, ladies and gentlemen. Please don't go away. We're going to take a quick break, and then we will be back. It is the Fish Florida Show with your host, Riscala, and my sidekick, Devin, and we will be right back.
You're listening to the Fish Florida Show with your host, Riscala. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
Do you own a laser printer, copier, or a fax? Well then, listen close to this announcement. Laser Technologies has been providing high-quality, frustration-free toner cartridges that are guaranteed not to harm your equipment for over 20 years. Laser Technologies will save you on your supplies with high quality and fast delivery. Savings up to 50%. Laser Technologies supplies toner, imaging drums, developer and cartridges for most of the major brands. For a price quote, send an email to service@laser-technologies.com. Include your printer make and model for your part number. Call us at 561-792-9600. That's 561-792-9600. Laser Technologies, providing 100% of the quality at a fraction of the price. 561-792-9600.
When selling your luxury home, you need someone who understands your expectations. Someone familiar with the industry, who can sell your home faster and get you the best price. Someone who can provide you with a full-service brokerage firm. That someone is Devin Canhigh with Exit Realty. Devin is a veteran who has grown up in South Florida and spent his life in Palm Beach County. With Devin's marketing strategy and his network of contacts, you will be pleased at how quickly, smoothly, and easily your home can be sold. Not sure what your home should sell for? With Devin on your side, you will receive a free evaluation. Call Devin today at 561-281-9138. He's ready to serve your needs and expectations. That's 561-281-9138. Devin Canhigh with Exit Realty, 561-281-9138.
Hi folks, I'm Roger from Rogers Gotcha Motoring. If you need a local auto repair shop, Rogers Gotcha Motoring will take care of all of your automotive repair needs. If you need something as simple as an oil change or as complex as an engine overhaul, I have the latest in technology and the knowledge to get the job done right. We've been servicing Pinellas County since 1994 and are conveniently located at 3700 5th Avenue North in St. Petersburg, Florida. If you need service, call now at 727-327-1830 or visit my website at www.rogersgotchamotoring.com or like my Facebook page at Rogers Gotcha Motoring for a complete list of all of our services. So come on over to Rogers, that's me, and get your car service today. And don't forget to shop and support local business. Call now to book your appointment at 727-327-1830. That's 727-327-1830, or swing on by.
You're listening to WDBFradio.com, a tune-in station.
Oh, I grabbed my fishing pole and cast it in the water. I fish until dawn. Oh my, I caught a shark. I'm fishing and blowing on when the sun shines all day. They call me a grouper. Stop fishing and blowing on. Oh yeah.
It's the Fish Florida Show with your host, Riscala Stevens, bringing the outdoors to you every Sunday morning, 8 to 10 a.m. on the WDBF Radio Network. And now, your host, Riscala Stevens.
Good morning, everyone. It is the Fish Florida Show, and I am honored and privileged to be with you. I have my sidekick with me this morning, Devin. Good morning, Devin.
Good morning. Good morning. What another beautiful day in South Florida today. For all the listeners tuning in, we got an exciting show for you this morning. Some great guests calling in.
Yeah. You see some of the lineup there in front of you. We're going to have some interesting people on this morning and some very interesting information to go along with them. So don't go away. We're not done yet. We're not even close to being. We're just getting wound up here. And as we've been talking about this morning, one of my favorite fish is dolphin. I love dolphin. I said earlier it's pretty hard to ruin dolphin unless you overcook it and dry it out. But other than that, it's like the chicken of the sea, literally like the chicken of the sea. We have dolphin season happening right now. People are reporting dolphin are hitting in as shallow as 160 feet of water. That's not very far offshore, you guys. Let's get out there and get some dolphin today.
And for all the people listening in, it's not dolphin like the flipper. It's the mahi-mahi like the fish. Just want to make sure that's cleared up.
I do get a strange, looks every once in a while for people who don't understand. They kind of look at me like, how dare you? How could you be so heartless? So he's right. We're not talking about the flipper dolphin. It's kind of a nickname. It was referred to as mahi-mahi. What's the actual name? Do you know?
Mahi-mahi. The
Latin mahi-mahi is a Hawaiian name.
Mahi-mahi is the Hawaiian name. Let's use the old internet and look that up.
Yeah. While we're talking about the internet, let me get lined up here on our website. We are monitoring the website. If you have a question or if you have a comment, you can go to the website www.fishfloridashow.com. And whatever that comment or whatever that question is, you can find it right there on the chat room on the website. You can enter whatever it is that you have, a question, comment, whatever that might be, and we'll be happy to refer to that on the air. In the meantime, I have our next guest coming on, Todd Roy. Todd is with Jimmy Johnson Fishing Tournaments, a very unique and very special tournament that I thought was so interesting when I found out about it. I wanted him to join us this morning, tell us a little bit about that and what's going on with that tournament. So, Todd, good morning, sir. Thank you so much for calling in, and welcome to the Fish Florida Show.
Well, good morning to you. Thanks for having me.
It's a privilege to have you on. Tell us a little bit about this tournament that I mentioned.
Well, we actually kick off in 2 weeks, and the tournament is actually the 9th and 10th of March. But in 2 weeks, on March 3rd, we kick off with a big party and a big celebration at the Hard Rock in Hollywood, and that's where we let everybody know, hey, you're going to be fishing for $1.5 million. We do a ring ceremony from the team that won last year, and Jimmy gets up and gets everybody motivated and gunned up, and we do a great gifting night where all the anglers come in and get outfitted from our sponsors, and then we go down to the Keys in the middle of the week in that same week on the 7th, and we get ready to fish.
Wow!
Great tournament. Key West, what's it? A $1.5 million purse, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, $1.5 million. This is our 7th year, and we started. Heck, I remember the first year. We put it out there, and one team signed up, and then about a month later, another team signed up, and I said, "Hey, it looks like we have a tournament." And we had 2 boats, and then we somehow managed 11, and now we should have somewhere right around 100 boats fishing us here in our 7th year. So it's come a long way.
That is awesome, and it's a quest for the coveted ring.
Yeah, that's what Jimmy's all about. Jimmy's always been about the ring. He won a ring as a player in Arkansas back in like 1964. He won a ring with the Canes in '87 with their national championship, and then he went up to out to Dallas and won a couple of Super Bowl rings there. So Jimmy's life's been about the ring. And when we were putting this tournament together, the money's great, and at first it wasn't great, but so it was like, forget about the money, it's all about the ring. Well, now it's all about the ring, and then there's also a lot of money involved too.
Absolutely. And this is a billfish tournament, catch and release, correct?
Yeah, it's a billfish. That's how it's always been. It's Jimmy's National Billfish Championship. We had one weighted category the past few years. Last year, the weighted category had 50,000 in it. This year, we added some weighted categories, so now the guys that are fishing in the weighted categories are fishing for 250,000.
Wow!
Yeah, it's a big difference. We wanted to try to start attracting. There's so many types of fishermen down here. Not everybody is a catch and release person, so we added these, and it's going to grow. We're going to continue to grow both sides, so that really there's a lot of different anglers that can come and fish it.
Let me ask you, Todd, let's just say, for example, we're going to go out and we want to get involved in this. in this tournament. What does it take to get involved? First of all, I'm sure there's some kind of an entry fee, correct?
That is correct. You know, there's an entry fee for both sides, the catch and release division and then the weighted division. Some guys are doing both. Okay. Some guys are just going across the board on everything. But, you know, the easiest way is to, you know, just go on the website, JJ Fish Week. You know, it started out as a one-day tournament. Now it's a full week because, you know, we have a celebrity pro-am. Jimmy has some of his guys that he's coached through the years, and some of his celebrity colleagues, they come and fish on the Thursday, March 8th, before we kick off for the Big Bunny. We have a celebrity pro-am tournament where these guys are fishing for different charities. And so we have that, and then, you know, again, the Wednesday to kick it off in the Keys, we have a big captain's meeting and a party there, and I told you about the big party at Hard Rock on March 3rd. So it's really become a fish week. So jjfishweek.com is the way to get on it. Gives you all the information, gives you the dates, gives you the different categories, different pricing, you know, what the guaranteed purses. And remember, this is all guaranteed. This isn't about, well, if X amount of boats show up, you're fishing for X. Mm-hmm. This is $1.5 million, come and get it. You know, that's exactly how we want to structure it. It's a little different than fishing tournaments in the past. But when we have a partner like Hard Rock who gives you the ability to be able to guarantee something, it can really grow your tournament at a rapid pace.
Well, I want to tell you, Todd, it is an honor and a privilege to have you on and to help promote this for you. I was astonished when they told me. First, I heard it was $1 million. I went, "Are you kidding me? $1 million?" Yes. And then I found out who you were, and I started to do some research. And I went to www.jjfishweek.com, and I saw it wasn't $1 million; it was $1.5 million. And I said, "Oh my goodness." And I would not have known about you had it not been for Victoria. Victoria Brinkley is who really is to be credited with all of the Fish Florida, whether it's the app or whether it's the show. And I've asked her to call in this morning because I wanted her on the line with you as well. She tells me that you're one of our media partners. Thank you for doing that. We're grateful to you for being involved in that.
No,
I wanted her on the line this morning.
She reached out to us, and she's been terrific.
Well, I wanted her on the line with us this morning because I wanted to give her an accolade and thank her for a wonderful job and introducing me to wonderful people. You're one of them. She's introduced me to so many different people, just amazing people. So, good morning, Victoria. Thanks for calling in.
Good morning. How are you guys doing?
Oh, we are doing good. I wanted to take the opportunity while I had Todd on the line with me this morning to have you call in and to just tell us a little bit about very, very briefly about the media partnership.
Well, I'll tell you, you know, when I started this whole thing with the mobile app, I realized that we had a great consumer audience and we had a way to reach that consumer with products and services and great tournaments like what Todd's been doing. And honestly, you know, I look for really great alliances and, you know, with fishing tournaments and events to promote our media partners and their products. So when I saw this tournament, I could not believe my eyes. Todd, you know, I reached out to you and I'm like, Todd, I really like to, you know, partner up with you on this and help you promote this. I mean, we've got a great audience that I know is very interested in looking at tournaments like this to get involved in. So, but Todd, the way that he has put this together, to me is, I mean, it's just, he deserves a big pat on the back. I mean, it's quite an honor to be and a privilege to be, you know, a media partner with you guys.
Well, thank you, Victoria. You know, I appreciate the kind words. You know, what we try to do also, and this is another thing, is, and there's a lot of fishing tournaments, and they're all good. You know, they all have their own character to them. But with ours, you know, a typical fishing tournament is you go and the guys check in and they get a bucket and it's got some, you know, some koozies or something to throw in, and maybe every angler gets a shirt. But I'm like, no, we have to take care of our anglers, you know, because typically a captain gets a gift. And the anglers, you know, they walk away with a T-shirt, for gosh sakes. So on March 3rd, we do our gifting suite at the Hard Rock, and we outfit every angler from head to toe. If you're a registered angler, you are going in with a shopping experience. And we don't just hand you a bag with stuff. You're going to walk in, and it's like you're shopping. When you get like to Oakley's one of our sponsors. When you get to Oakley, they're going to put 8 different styles of their new prism lenses, glasses,
Wow.
their eyewear that they have for fishermen. And you're going to pick the style you like. Put it on your face. Let your girlfriend take a look at it, to see which one looks best. Move on to their sandals. Pick your color, pick your size. Tuna Skin, who's our apparel sponsor. You're going to pick your color of your tournament, your high performance shirt. Board shorts, different styles, different colors, different sizes. Heck, we even have fitting rooms for the guys. We, like I said, from head to toe, so we have headgear, eyewear, the Jokers, shirts. Grundens does shirts, really nice button-down shirts. They do some foul weather jackets. The board shorts, the Oakley sandals, and then there's so much in between that the guys walk away and they go, "You got to be kidding me! That's for us?" And it's like, "Yes, it's for you." We're gonna have 600 anglers meeting down in the Keys to compete, and we want them all looking good. So we're gonna outfit them on March 3rd at Hard Rock Hollywood. We're gonna have a beautiful pool party that nobody can do it like Hard Rock does. Nobody sells like fun like Hard Rock. And so that's our opening night kickoff, and then we just all converge down the Keys and just, compete and, again, have fun down there. That's great.
What would you say that the value of that captain's, bucket is? It's like $225.
The swag on the whole thing per boat, because we give 6 shopping experiences for each boat, and then also we have a captain's and owner's bag, which is even more incredible on top of all this. So your bag is somewhere in the neighborhood of $6,000-$7,000 of true value in your gifts.
That's amazing.
So, it's crazy. But like I said, I want to take care of these guys. I want this to be, I can't miss this tournament ever again. That's the reaction. That's right. What I want. And that's how we build it. Like I said, I started off with two teams 2 years ago, and I kind of mustered together a few more and made it 11 teams in year 1. We fished for $5,000 and the ring. And now here we are, 6-7 years later, and we got 100 boats. We're fishing for $1.5 million, and we're still fishing for rings. Wow. So it's we think we're doing it right. We like with Hard Rock selling their fun. We've got a big party at Ocean Reef one night while we're down there. Nobody sells luxury and experience like Ocean Reef.
Yes, Ocean Reef.
And then we're at Jimmy Johnson's Big Chill on Wednesday and on Saturday doing other big parties. And nobody's got that Keys charm like the Big Chill, So between our 3 venues, no one's got that. We've got 3 venues that are just very unique in their own way, and they're the best at what they do, all of them.
What is, tell everybody about Jimmy Johnson's place down there, the Big Chill.
That place is cute. It's on mile marker 104, and you walk in, and you've got an indoor sports bar, you've got indoor dining, you've got a cute little martini bar when you first walk in, and then you walk out the back doors. And you are on Blackwater Sound, and it's gorgeous. There's one area where there's a little beach area. Then you walk through which got to be one of the largest tiki bars in the Keys. I don't know if there's one bigger, maybe somewhere, but this is one of the largest tiki bars in the Keys. Live music every single day at 4:00. Larry, who's Jimmy's partner, has somebody doing live music every single day, and then there's this huge pool, and so they got a couple docks, and it's just it's what you think of when you think of the Keys. This is exactly what you think of.
Todd, I want to tell you, it's amazing. I'd never heard. This is the first tournament I've heard where it's $1.5 million prize. Everything that you have described, I wish I want to go build me a boat and come out and join you guys. I tell you, it is truly enticing.
On the back of that boat because these teams are ready to compete.
Truly enticing to do. Thank you so much for sharing with us this morning. I'm up against a break. We're going to take a break here in just a minute, but I want to say thank you to Todd and thank you to Jimmy Johnson for the tournament. Thank you for being a media partner, and a great big thank you to Victoria, without whom none of this would have been happening. So thank you, Victoria. Thank you, Todd. Ladies and gentlemen, don't go away. We're up against a break. We will be right back, and I think Devin has one more thing before we go.
Absolutely, and if you guys missed it before, you can check out the Jimmy Johnson Fishing Tournament on the Fish Florida app. You can also check him out on www.jjfishweek.com. We will see you after the break, everyone.
You're listening to the Fish Florida Show with your host, Briskella. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
Battles aren't won solely on the field. That's a common misconception. Battles are won within. Over enemies of fear, enemies of doubt. In that place where promises are kept. Promises to oneself.
This is a physical training event.
Promises to one's community.
Helping people move debris out of their house.
Promises to one's country. In the heart of every Marine, you'll find a promise. A promise forever kept. A promise of battles won.
You've seen how recent hurricanes have devastated whole communities, flooding and destroying homes. Join Habitat for Humanity as we work with families to repair and rebuild. You can help someone desperately in need of a place to call home. We will rebuild, but only with your help. Visit Habitat.org to support Habitat's work.
Hello, I'm Hector Elizondo, and I want to talk to you about getting older. My body hurts, my joints ache, and sometimes I forget. I forget that doing all your own scenes for a movie isn't always the best decision, especially when you're galloping high speed on a horse named Archibello. So yes, my body hurts, but it's not because of my age. It's because I'm living my life.
Don't let life pass you by. Take care of your brain health. It may just help you stay on top of your game.
Oh, Archibello!
Learn more at brainhealth.gov.
Hey y'all, Cedric the Entertainer here with Niecy Nash, taking a break from shooting The Soul Man to introduce you to Patience.
Hi.
Patience is a patient at St. Jude Children's Research Hospital.
Families never receive a bill from St. Jude for anything because all a family should worry about is helping their child live.
St. Jude won't give up until they end childhood cancer, sickle cell, and other deadly diseases.
Because of you, there is St. Jude.
Learn more at stjude.org.
My vehicle was sent 6 feet in the air in a ball of fire. I thought I was going to die.
It ripped my arm off. It broke my right femur.
I took such a hard blow to the head that my retina was torn apart.
Say a prayer for peace.
I'm Trace Adkins. I want to tell you about these true American heroes and how you can show your thanks by helping them through Wounded Warrior Project.
They reached out to us as a family, and they never forgot about us.
The job of helping thousands of our wounded warriors rebuild their lives is massive and growing every day. That's why your gift of just $19 a month is so important. Many of these service members suffer traumatic brain injury and post-traumatic stress disorder.
They helped me basically put my life back together.
If it wasn't for Wounded Warrior Project, I would be a statistic right now. I would have been one of those soldiers who came home and committed suicide.
I'm in the fields of Vietnam, the mountains of Afghanistan.
Your gift today of $19 a month can help us provide the programs and services desperately needed by our wounded service members. Call or go online with a pledge and you'll receive this Wounded Warrior Project blanket. Make that call now.
Say a prayer for peace.
It's the Fish Florida Show with your host, Riscala Stevens, bringing the outdoors to you every Sunday morning, 8 to 10 a.m. on the WDBF Radio Network. And now, your host, Riscala Stevens.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. It is the Fish Florida Show. I am your host, Riscala, and my sidekick, Devin. Good morning, Devin.
Good morning. What a beautiful day in South Florida.
We're just enjoying it here. We got the sliding glass door open. The sun is coming in. The temperature is still probably in the 60s, the mid-60s or so. It's crisp. It's clear out there. Ladies and gentlemen, you got to get out there and enjoy this beautiful weather, what we live here for every day. And there's a lot of things that we can be doing. It could be anything, really. It can be anything from camping, fishing, kayaking, boating, snorkeling, whatever it is that you find that would be interesting to you. The purpose of what we're doing is to try to make it more advantageous for you and make it more enjoyable by introducing a wide variety of information for you. I'm still amazed about this $1.5 million prize.
Yep. For our new listeners just joining us, the JJ Fish Week. It's the Jimmy Johnson Fishing Tournament. It's a bill fish tournament. They just opened a new weigh category for fish. It is a $1.5 million purse, and it is an amazing experience to go down there and see what those guys do.
Yeah, again, I guess I'm a little ignorant to this because I'm not, I've never really been involved in tournaments and things of that nature. Fishing has always been a hobby for me. And when I find out that there's $1.5 million available, and it can be top fishing, sail fishing, or it can be bottom fishing, what they call meat fishing, you can go home with dinner and money. To me, that's fantastic.
Yep, it's those tournaments are great, and Riscala's eyeballs almost popped out of his head here when he heard the $1.5 million purse for these billfish. The meat fishing category, it's it's a little more entailed than just bottom fishing. What they do, it's almost like its own KDW, kingfish, dolphin, and wahoo. So you're trolling, you're live baiting, almost in the same fashion. You're just targeting different species at that point. Yeah. And there's different techniques to do that, of course.
If you go to www.jjfishweek.com, I noticed there that the entry fees were as little as $2,500. I may be mistaken, but that's what I remember. As little as $2,500 to get involved in this with $1.5 million purse. My goodness. The return on your investment is astonishing.
Absolutely. And on the tournament note, we have finally locked in the dates for our tournament for the year. It's coming up in September. It is September 20th through the 23rd, 20th being the captain's party, 22nd being the day of fishing, and the 23rd being the award ceremony. And this year, our benefactor who we're fishing for is the No Forgotten Soldier Outreach Program. Forgotten Soldier Outreach Program. Yeah. It's a great program. Our tournament is a meat tournament. It's a KDW. And the benefactor for this tournament, it's a great group of ladies. What they do is they actually box up care packages and send it over to our soldiers and sailors overseas that are away from their families, and give them a little piece of home and some of the essentials they need and some snacks, and just show them that, hey, there's somebody else caring about you.
Wow. That's phenomenal, because these guys, they go out there, they put their lives on the line, they see the most horrible of horribles, and they come back, and a lot of times our government just kind of turns their back on them. It's always great. I'm always honored to hear about how we do stuff for our veterans, because they seem to be the bottom of the barrel when it comes to taking care of people. We have Frank, Frank Danish. He takes veterans out. He takes kids out fishing. This is one of my passions, is to help other people. I truly believe that the whole purpose that we're here for is to help each other. Not everybody has all of the answers, but together, working together, we can come up with the answers. And that's just one of my passions. I so much enjoy that. So we have a beautiful day out there. We're asking you to get your stuff together, get your gear wound up, get your coolers loaded. If it's going to be fishing, get your bait ready, get your tackle ready. If it's going to be boating, get your boats ready. If it's going to be snorkeling, get your snorkels ready. It's a beautiful day out there, and I'm kind of excited to go out there and do something today.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And then, if anybody's interested that's listening on our show to get involved in our tournament also, or also either donate or sponsor the tournament, you can email us as xgenerationfishingbt. That's xgenerationfishingbt@gmail.com. And I'll be more than happy to respond to your emails. You're not going to get a robot. You're going to get me typing with all my typos and grammars in there. I promise I'll use spell check.
Okay, now it's xgeneration B like boy, T like Tom?
Yes, B like boy, T like Tom, Bravo Tango.
Okay, xgenerationbt.com.
xgenerationbt@gmail.com.
Oh, I'm sorry, at gmail.com. Okay.
And I'll be more than happy to answer your questions. Victoria at Fish Florida has been working on our new website, so that is up and live, but I'll get that out to everyone next week when we finally work out the tournament section of that.
And so we have, excuse me, so we have another tournament here that Devin is talking about. Any other tournaments that you're aware of?
It's coming into the season. They have the Meat Mayhem coming up local here. That is, I believe, it's in the second week of March. That's another fun tournament. That's a meat tournament, Kingfish Dolphin Wahoo tournament. And we are coming into full swing. I don't want to give away all the tournaments right now, so stay tuned in the next coming weeks, and I'll give you a full tournament schedule and what's going on here in Florida. A lot of these tournaments here, you know, first place, you're fishing for anywhere from $5,000 all the way up to $25,000. Some of these purses here for our tournaments here, they're not as big as Jimmy Johnson, but you get a lot of tournaments that are anywhere from $50,000 to $100,000 guaranteed purses overall for the whole tournament. So there's that much cash available to win. And then what Riscala does, as me being a tournament fisher, you have Calcuttas also. Those are side bets. So this is money aside from the whole tournament.
Yeah.
That's another, you know, most of these tournaments have that. And some of those Calcuttas, they'll add up to close to almost as a first place prize.
Wow. That is amazing. And, you know, for me, it's, I don't know what the word I'm looking for. You're out there. I love fishing. So to do something that you love doing. And if we're talking about like a meat tournament where you're going to end up keeping the fish, so you'll have dinner. So you're going to do something that you like. You're going to have dinner and you're going to get paid on top of that. Wow.
It's a win-win for everybody.
That's amazing to me. That's amazing. I get to fish, I get dinner, and I get paid.
Plus, you get a lot of them. All these captains meetings, you do get a captain's bucket, and you get some really cool swag in the captain's bucket. So from all the other sponsors that are involved. So that's another thing you also get.
Amazing. So you know, I didn't realize when Todd was explaining about the captains and they go to the Hard Rock and they literally outfit everybody. My job, I didn't know if you looked at me, but I'm going, oh my God, are you kidding me? That is amazing. That really is amazing. And you think about the prizes that are available. Now, what I'm not clear about, it's $1.5 million, right? So it's not $1.5 million that goes to one person, correct?
No,
it's spread across a spectrum of different people. So if for example, if you're fishing for what they call the meat part of it, right?
They just opened up that category. Typically up here, in the tournaments that we fish, you go anywhere from first place is, in some tournaments, like I said, anywhere from $5,000 you're fishing for just one category, first place, biggest fish, and that's a low price. Some of them in the upwards of $10,000 plus.
And is that done by the weight of the fish or the number of the fish or what?
Or in the meat fish category, it's done by the weight of the fish.
The weight of the fish. Yep. So you could, theoretically, catch one big heavy fish and beat somebody who caught 5 or 6 fish.
Oh, absolutely. Yep. They have aggregates that, you weigh 4 fish in the tournament. And then there's also the large fish. That's usually the biggest purse is the large fish. And on top of that, there's some people that don't get in the Calcuttas that have a heavier fish. Mm-hmm. And I mean, this is rare because, it's when you have people that are just starting and they're like, I don't want to get in the Calcuttas. It's a great thing to get into. God forbid you catch that heavy fish, you get first place, win $5,000, and then you leave on the table another $5,000 in the Calcuttas. That's cold hard cash because you didn't pay the extra $100 for the team to enter.
Wow.
I've seen the situation happen, and it's not a good feeling when you leave that money on the table after you take a first place down.
So, if we're talking about like any of these tournaments that we get involved in, what kind of, let's say that we're going to go for the sailfish, because that seems to be very popular right now. What kind of gear should we be looking for?
Well, with the sailfish, it is, they do this tournament in the Keys because the sailfish are moving down there in the Keys. Those guys that are fishing for the sailfish, they have it so dialed in. It's a business for them on the boat. A lot of sailfish you can catch on the troll, and that's a little more difficult because it's people on the tournaments, they use circle hooks. So they'll troll ballyhoo on the circle hook, and they use a long leader, about 15 feet. And most of the time, once you get out there, a lot of the guys use the live bait and the kite fishing for them.
Oh,
and again,
yeah,
it's a circle hook on that also. And the presentation of the bait on the kite, it keeps those baits right below the water surface, so it keeps them fluttering, looking in distress, and those sailfish come up like the sheriffs and take them out.
We've had Mike Simcoe with kitefishing.com. He explained a little bit. I know very little about kite fishing. I've seen people do it out there. I've always thought it was kind of a joke kind of thing, but I found out very quickly it's not anything like a joke. It is extremely serious. You can have some serious money invested in the equipment, and the results are amazing. The results are truly amazing.
It's extremely serious, and it takes a lot of work. It's not something that you put out there and you just walk away from the kites. The kites, you're always adjusting your lines on the kites, always making sure your bait's presented right. Some of these bigger boats and these bigger teams, I should say, not even the bigger boats, bigger teams, you're putting out 2 kites, and these kites have 3 lines apiece, so you have 6 lines in the air, in the water, so it takes a really well-worked team and then a really seasoned team to run 2 kites. Most of the time, if you're just getting into it, you're going to run 1 kite and 2 lines.
Mm-hmm. 1 kite can handle up to 2 lines?
1 kite, depending on the kite, 1 kite, it depends on how you have your kite reel set up. You can run up to 3 lines on 1 kite.
Wow. So, and how do they control the depth of the bait?
The kite goes up, and you put the kite up, and then you send your bait out on the line, and it depends on where you want your bait in the water table is how much line you let off on your fishing reel. The kite reel and the fishing reel are 2 separate things.
Okay. So if you let more line out, theoretically, they would go deeper in the water.
It either goes deeper in the water or further out.
Further out,
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that makes sense.
The purpose of the kite is to keep those baits just above the water surface.
And typically when this is happening, is the boat moving?
The boat's drifting, and some of these guys, on the days that there's no wind, they will bump troll the boat to keep the kite up. There's 3 different kites you can get. There's a light wind kite. There's also the normal kite, which everybody uses, the green or red. And then there's the heavy wind kite, the black kite, and that's for 25 and up, 25 miles an hour and up.
I was amazed at how sophisticated kite fishing is. I was ignorant. I wasn't familiar with it. I got Mike Simcoe to call in one of the shows, and he began to tell me about all the different things that are involved in the kite fishing. I was truly amazed, and I guess it's worth it because a lot of people are doing it. It's not an inexpensive piece of hardware to get. And I don't think people would spend that kind of money if they didn't get a return on their investment.
You know, with the kite fishing, it used to be super, super expensive to get in kite fishing, but nowadays you can get a kite rod for a decent one for about $50. If you've got a Penn 6.0, or even you can get away with it on a 4.0, mainly about a 6.0. You can get some braid on there and go to your local tackle shop and get it set up for it. And a kite clip kit is, about $30, and then you get into the kites, and a kite is about $100 to $150 depending on the kite you buy. So if you wanted to get into kite fishing and learn how to do it, it's become more affordable to get into kite fishing.
I wasn't really expecting it to be that inexpensive. I thought it was a lot more than that, so I'm surprised. Again, to me, life is about a learning process. I've learned again this morning.
Yep, and these tournament guys are using electric reels on their kites. It helps bring the kite back down faster and reset your line. So if you're doing it serious, it does cost some money, and the most money goes into the reel and some of the more expensive kite rods. But if you're getting into it to try the sport out and learn how to kite fish, it's not extremely expensive.
Is it a one person can do this, right?
One person can, if you're good at operating, if you're good, one of my friends, he can get the kite up by himself, get the bait up by himself.
Wow.
When we go kite fishing, that's, when we're tournament fishing, let me say that. And if we're targeting the kingfish, on the kite, him and his wife operate the kite on their side of the boat. I usually am on the back corner of the boat, and I operate the down line. I operate the flat line. I operate the balloon line. That's just what I like to do. And it's everybody has a job on the boat, but yeah, if you get good at it, one person can operate the kite.
It's amazing.
Once it's a good wind, you get the boat set up on your drift correctly, you get that kite up. It's not too difficult. And you have to have enough rod holders on the boat. If you don't, you have to spend another $200 on a Trident. It's a pole that goes into one rod holder that holds
gives you 3.
rods.
Yeah. All right, ladies and gentlemen, again, I am learning this morning. I don't know how many of you out there have learned with this new information coming forward, new to me anyway. But it's a learning process for me. I've learned that I'm still trying to get over $1.5 million. I know that's not all going to one person, but that's a lot of money. And it's out there available for you guys. If you have a boat, if you want to get involved,
JJFishweek.com, or you can check them out on the Fish Florida app.
Yeah, or you can, excellent. They are a media partner. You can find them on the Fish Florida app.
A way easier than remembering it or trying to look it up or trying to remember it. Download the Fish Florida app and you can see the amazing products we have on there. We always have the tide reports. We've got the way the surf is. It's a great app. It's a one-stop shop.
Ladies and gentlemen, please don't go away. We will be right back. We've got a break. It's the top of the hour. And you're listening to the Fish Florida Show with Riskala and Devin.
You're listening to the Fish Florida Show with your host, Riskala. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
I'm Bobby Likas, host of Bobby Likas Car Clinic. Grab your calendar and let's make a date. Saturday mornings from 10 till noon Eastern Time. On Car Clinic, we'll drive into the automotive lifestyle. I'll share information that'll help you make better buying and service decisions. So let's make it a date. Saturday mornings from 10 till noon Eastern Time. WDBFradio.com, WDBF.FM, and Bobby Likas Car Clinic. Like us, you'll love us.
Do you own a laser printer, copier, or a fax? Well then, listen close to this announcement. Laser Technologies has been providing high-quality, frustration-free toner cartridges that are guaranteed not to harm your equipment for over 20 years. Laser Technologies will save you on your supplies with high-quality and fast delivery. Savings up to 50%. Laser Technologies supplies toner, imaging drums, developer and cartridges for most of the major brands. For a price quote, send an email to service@laser-technologies.com. Include your printer make and model for your part number. Call us at 561-792-9600. That's 561-792-9600. Laser Technologies, providing 100% of the quality at a fraction of the price. 561-792-9600.
Hi folks, I'm Roger from Rogers Gotcha Motoring. If you need a local auto repair shop, Rogers Gotcha Motoring will take care of all of your automotive repair needs. If you need something as simple as an oil change or as complex as an engine overhaul, I have the latest in technology and the knowledge to get the job done right. We've been servicing Pinellas County since 1994 and are conveniently located at 3700 5th Avenue North in St. Petersburg, Florida. If you need service, call now at 727-327-1830 or visit my website at www.rogersgotchamotoring.com or like my Facebook page at Rogers Gotcha Motoring for a complete list of all of our services. So come on over to Rogers, that's me, and get your car service today. And don't forget to shop and support local business. Call now to book your appointment at 727-327-1830. That's 727-327-1830, or swing on by.
Que Pasa Mexican Cantina is where friends and neighbors come to connect, share, and celebrate one another in a festive, casual atmosphere. Offering rich, robust flavors of authentic Mexican cuisine, we use only the freshest, finest ingredients. We chop and dice, season and blend, and then cook everything we serve to perfection. One thing that makes Mexican food even better is one of our delicious Best of the Bay margaritas. Our signature series of margarita flavors range from our sweet and fruity mango and strawberry to our hot and juicy jalapeno margarita. Having a busy meeting or getting together and looking for Mexican food? Try our Fast Fax form. It's an easy, fast way to order your favorite Mexican food. We have special platters and layouts for any occasion. The form is super easy to fill out, fax, email, or just call it in. Whether it's here in the restaurant, in your home or office, at Que Pasa we celebrate bringing people together. Que Pasa Mexican Cantina, 10478 Roosevelt Boulevard North Street in the Gateway Shopping Center, 727-330-3663 in St. Petersburg. With 24 years in law enforcement, Sergeant Frank Danish embodies community outreach. He's helped hundreds of young people become civic-minded adults through a 17-year leadership development program in the city of Boynton Beach, Florida. This program also has produced police officers with strong moral character. Also a founder of Adopt a Cop USA, Sergeant Frank Danish is committed to his members' education and criminal awareness in the community.
So tune in every Saturday afternoon at 2 p.m. Eastern, right after Bucks on the Bookshelf, for the Sergeant Frank Show here on the WDBF Radio Networks.
And you're listening to WDBFradio.com.
I grabbed my fishing pole and cast it in the water. I fish until dawn. Oh my, I caught a shark. I'm fishing and blowing on when the sun shines all day. They call me a grouper. Stop fishing and blowing on. Oh yeah.
It's the Fish Florida Show with your host, Riscala Stevens, bringing the outdoors to you every Sunday morning, 8 to 10 a.m. on the WDBF Radio Network. And now, your host, Riscala Stevens.
Well, welcome back, everybody. I have hijacked the radio and kicked Riscala off the mic for a little bit. We have our next guest up on the line. It is Captain Clyde. Captain Clyde, welcome.
Thank you very much. Good morning to you guys.
Good morning to you, sir. How is the weather? How is everything going over in your neck of the woods?
Well, the weather is very unusually warm for this time of the year. We've had a very unusual warm, unseasonal temperatures. We're setting records for heat over here in South Louisiana.
Wow. Yeah, it's, we are blessed in our area to not have to deal with the snow like some of the northerners have.
Well, we didn't have to deal with it but one time this year, which was weird for South Louisiana. But what happens when that temperature rises that quick, it gets the water temperature up quicker. And now the crappie are in full spawn right now. The water temperature has risen to about 65 to 69 degrees in a lot of areas. So that triggers the crappie to really get into the, into their spawning.
Absolutely, absolutely. So how is, from the main man himself, how is the crappie fishing been up, I would say up by you because I'm in South Florida.
Right. Well, the crappie fishing has been great, and that's due to the warm weather, getting the water temperature up, triggering them to go into their spawn. So people are catching a lot of crappie right now. The last 2 weeks has been unbelievable. Louisiana, we have a very liberal limit, which is awesome because each fisherman gets to keep 50 crappie. Wow. We have a lot of them here. So I've had friends that 3 guys went out and caught 150 in 3 hours.
Wow.
Oh my goodness.
So Captain Clyde, is there a size limit on the crappie by you?
There's no size limit, but we have very ethical fishermen here. They don't keep the little small ones. They throw the little tiny ones back. So I'd say most fishermen keep anything 10 inches and above.
Wow. Okay, so for all our new listeners, this is Captain Clyde, everybody. Captain Clyde, the Crappie Psychic. Tell them what you do and what your product is.
Well, what we invented is an enhancer, which is good for all crappie fishermen because, like I've said before in the show, crappie are very finicky, and the people that fish them are normally finicky also when it comes to what they use, their favorite bait. So what we have is a scented trailer. And we've also come out with a scented ammo, we call it crappie ammo, and it's a small, tiny-looking BB. And it's basically the same thing as the crappie nibbles and power baits and all that that's out on the market right now. So what we do is you take that crappie trailer, you add it to your favorite bait, whatever you like to fish with, any kind of little swim bait, tube jig, hair jig, even live minnows. So you add that scented trailer to whatever you're using, and it'll double and triple your catch. It just automatically adds way more action and vibration. and it's also scented with what we call our psychic sauce. Now, a lot of the baits, depending on the size hook you're using, you can also add the little crappie ammo right behind the crappie trailer. So people are using the trailer, and they're putting a little ammo on there, which helps to anchor that trailer close to the skirt, or, you know, close to the whatever bait you're using down in the bottom of the hook.
Wow. Wow, sounds like a great product. And if they want to find you, they can find you on the Fish Florida app. Do you have a website where they can find you also? Or can they check you out on social media?
It's www.thecrappiepsychic.com, and we just had a brand new website launched this past week. And so it is a full e-commerce website now, as before it was not. So it's a very good website, and it took a little while to get that going, but we've only been in business 3.5 years. So, you know, when you first start out, you got to kind of take what you can get.
Absolutely, absolutely. It's always a growing process. So, you know, we spoke before. What was the what's the name you guys call the crappie over there? The locals call it.
We have a French word here in South Louisiana, and it's called sac à lait, and it means a sack of milk.
I heard it on TV the other day, and I was like, the first person that came to mind was like, man, I heard that with Captain Clyde. It was quite amazing.
Well, it's really hard. I've been born and raised down here, and I'm 55 now, so I've been calling them sac à lait all my life. So it's really hard for me to get into a discussion. It slips out all the time to call them crappie. And crappie is the real name throughout the country. So that's why we went with the Crappie Psychic, because we didn't want to go with the sac à lait Psychic, because people would be like, well, what is that? They wouldn't really know what it was.
That might actually work in your favor, creating curiosity. What is a sac à lait?
It's funny. I was we actually just went to a crawfish boil last night. Man, it's such a good time going to that and meeting people.
Well, yeah, crawfish season is kicking up, and this warm weather is going to help kick that up too. They're going to grow faster. People love their crawfish down here in South Louisiana. I can tell you that much.
I tell you, I love my crawfish here in South Florida when they do the crawfish boils at my friends' places. It's a blast. You know, there's probably 50 to 100 people there. They put the crawfish with the potatoes and the garlic in there and the sausage and the shrimp. They pour it all out on an open table.
I'm salivating over here. Stop! Oh my goodness, I'm ready to have lunch. Who's coming?
And I mean, it's a great time.
I'm here, and I take it.
That's me.
It's a great time.
Good morning, Riscala.
Hey, good morning, Captain Clyde.
It's a great time. You get to meet new people and shake hands, meet people you didn't know, and talk a little bit. And I know in South Louisiana, that's a big thing too, right? It's the word of the mouth and shaking the hand.
Oh, it's huge in South Louisiana. You're treated as family. I mean, it doesn't even matter if you've met for the first time. When you're having a large gathering and crawfish boil, and you know, people like to drink an ice cold beer while they're eating their boiled crawfish, and because of course we season them up pretty good here. You know, some people are a little hotter than spicier than others, but you know, it's like your family. I mean, it's a very, very good time, and everybody gathers around, and it's a big family party.
Absolutely. So, and you know, with that Southern hospitality you guys have, just remember, if you guys check out Captain Clyde on his website, he'll always be treated as family.
No doubt. We love all our customers. We actually pray for our customers to have bountiful fishing trips every day.
Absolutely, absolutely. So the crappie's heating up by you. Everybody go check out his website. You could find him on the Fish Florida app. For the people that missed it, tell them where they can find you one more time.
That's www.thecrappiepsychic.com. And most people have a problem spelling out that word psychic. There's no H in there. It's Psychic.
Wow, that's awesome. So any new products in the lineup coming out for you? Anything in the works?
Well, yes. We have 2 or 3 new items in the works. One of them's going to be I think it's going to be really big. Really big. We're having it designed right now. It just takes a while to actually, from the process, from the mind, as soon as you have it thought up, to the actual selling point. It's sometimes 8 to 10 month process. There's a lot that goes into the development of a new product.
Wow.
And so we're developing a new product right now. We're in the design stage. So I'm thinking, another 7, 8 months down the road, we should be introducing it. Maybe we can introduce it on you guys' show.
Absolutely.
When it's ready.
I would be honored to introduce the new product on the show. And with Captain Clyde here, if you're with any new product, anything you buy from him, there's tried, true, and tested. He used it himself. It's not a product that he doesn't stand by and believe in. Am I correct?
That is 100% correct. We actually used our trailers for almost 3 years before we even made the company, before we created the company to bring them out to the public. So 3 years is a long testing time. So we knew exactly what these Senate trailers were about.
So Captain Clyde, I want to say while I have the opportunity, congratulations. I understand that you mentioned earlier a new website. I also understand that you are looking at a new show, a new TV show.
Yes, we're considering it. We're giving it a lot of major thought, and it looks very promising to have the Crappie Psychic show, and it won't only be about Crappie Psychic stuff like myself. My wife will be featured on there. She's a Cajun chef. And we'll be doing a few other things besides just crappie fishing. We'll be doing, we're down in South Louisiana, so we do a lot of things. We'll be doing some frogging shows. We'll probably go out on some alligator hunting shows. I have friends that are major alligator hunters. We'll be probably doing some saltwater fishing also. So it's not just going to be centered around crappie, because we also make other baits for saltwater fishermen too. We don't just make baits for crappie fishermen. We make saltwater baits, and we also make deep sea fishing baits for tuna, tarpon, and cobia and grouper. So we are branching out, and like I said, we're not just about the crappie.
Well, wow. I know that the name, the Crappie Psychic, came by way of your amazing ability to locate this fish, and not only locate the fish, but bring up a boatload of them. And that's about the way that your name came about, because of your ability, almost seemingly like a psychic, to go out and find these things and to be able to boatload them, as I like to refer to it. If we wanted to go do some crappie fishing, Captain Clyde, what is required for that? What kind of a rod, what kind of a reel, what kind of line?
Well, if you're coming fishing with me, I am very, I guess I would say I'm not the norm. A lot of people that fish crappie down here in Louisiana, they fish with 10, 12, 14-foot poles. They call them jig poles for the most part. They do this spider rig fishing where they might have 5 poles out. They get up in the trees and they jig in the trees with these long poles. Well, that's not what I do. I like fishing with a 6-foot one-piece light to medium rod, and with a lightweight spinning reel, about a 2,000 or 2,500. And I use 8-pound tests, which is a little odd for most crappie fishermen. They like 4-pound and 6-pound tests. They feel it's a little more sensitive. But my bait, my Senate trailer, attracts so many different species of fish that when I'm out there crappie fishing, it's not unusual for me to hook on to a 4 or 5-pound bass, 20-pound blue catfish.
Wow.
Really, really big bowfin. We catch 5 to 6 different species because of these Senate trailers. They're just attracted to them big time. So I like to have a little bit heavier equipment, just a tad bit heavier than the normal crappie fisherman uses. So that's the equipment I use. That's the equipment you would be using, Rascala, if you ever came fishing with me. And we would be casting. We wouldn't be jigging. So we'd be casting, 20, 30 feet from the boat. I like to stay back from the boat because I fish a lot of times in shallow water. And you can't get right on top of them because you'll spook them. So you have to kind of lay back a ways, and you have to cast out to where the fish are. So that's the way I fish them. that's the way my customers fish them, and I have not had a complaint yet. They really enjoy fishing with the Crappie Psychic.
All right, awesome. Captain Clyde, tell them one more time before we go your new website and how they can get a hold of you.
New website, www.thecrappiepsychic.com. And there's a phone number on there if you need to contact the office for any reason. But it is now a full e-commerce website, so you can go on there, pick out everything you want, put in your own information, and it's as simple as catching crappie.
And if anyone who forgets the website, remember, download the Fish Florida app. He is on there, and you have a direct link to his website. And check out Captain Clyde, the Crappie Psychic. We will see you soon when we return from the break.
Thank you, Captain Clyde.
All right, are we done?
We are done, my friends.
Thank you, sir.
You're listening to the Fish Florida Show with your host, Riskella. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
Do you own a laser printer, copier, or a fax? Well then, listen close to this announcement. Laser Technologies has been providing high-quality, frustration-free toner cartridges that are guaranteed not to harm your equipment for over 20 years. Laser Technologies will save you on your supplies with high quality and fast delivery. Savings up to 50%. Laser Technologies supplies toner, imaging drums, developer and cartridges for most of the major brands. For a price quote, send an email to service@laser-technologies.com. Include your printer make and model for your part number. Call us at 561-792-9600. That's 561-792-9600. Laser Technologies, providing 100% of the quality at a fraction of the price. 561-792-9600.
When selling your luxury home, you need someone who understands your expectations. Someone familiar with the industry, who can sell your home faster and get you the best price. Someone who can provide you with a full-service brokerage firm. That someone is Devin Canhigh with Exit Realty. Devin is a veteran who has grown up in South Florida and spent his life in Palm Beach County. With Devin's marketing strategy and his network of contacts, you will be pleased at how quickly, smoothly, and easily your home can be sold. Not sure what your home should sell for? With Devin on your side, you will receive a free evaluation. Call Devin today at 561-281-9138. He's ready to serve your needs and expectations. That's 561-281-9138. Devin Canhigh with Exit Realty, 561-281-9138.
Que Pasa Mexican Cantina is where friends and neighbors come to connect, share, and celebrate one another in a festive, casual atmosphere. Offering rich, robust flavors of authentic Mexican cuisine, we use only the freshest, finest ingredients. We chop and dice, season and blend, and then cook everything we serve to perfection. One thing that makes Mexican food even better is one of our delicious Best of the Bay margaritas. Our signature series of margarita flavors range from our sweet and fruity mango and strawberry to our hot and juicy jalapeno margarita. Having a busy meeting or getting together and looking for Mexican food? Try our Fast Fax form. It's an easy, fast way to order your favorite Mexican food. We have special platters and layouts for any occasion. The form is super easy to fill out, fax, email, or just call it in. Whether it's here in the restaurant, in your home or office, at Que Pasa we celebrate bringing people together. Que Pasa Mexican Cantina, 10478 Roosevelt Boulevard North Street in the Gateway Shopping Center, 727-330-3663 in St. Petersburg. It's the Fish Florida Show with your host, Riskella Stevens, bringing the outdoors to you every Sunday morning, 8 to 10 a.m. on the WDBF Radio Network. And now, your host, Riskella Stevens.
Good morning, everyone. It is a beautiful morning, and we are just enjoying this weather here Got the sliding glass door open. I'm looking at a bright, sunny day. Temperature's still probably in the upper 60s now. It's climbed up a little bit. And from what I understand, the seas are kind of laying down a little bit. A good day to be out there with your boat if you've got a boat out there. Just a good day in general. Am I right, Devin?
The ocean looks like a lake today. What a great day. For the people that don't go out in the ocean often and are afraid of getting seasick, it is an amazing day to go fishing today.
Wow. And some of the things that we have talked about this morning, we have I want to bring up the tournaments again. We have a fantastic tournament going on with Jimmy Johnson. We also have Robert Warner, who called in earlier this morning and was telling us about what's happening up on the East Coast as well as the West Coast, a little north of us. We have a lot of fish action going on out there, ladies and gentlemen. You want to get your rods and your reels and your tackle and get out there and enjoy the day. It's a wonderful way to build the bonds of the relationship, whether that's with your wife or your better half or your children. I know for me, in my growing up, my dad would take us fishing, and it was an enjoyable trip for the entire family. We always had fun, and it was always a way for us to increase the bond. Again, my family, very close-knit because of some of the things that we did. One of those was to enjoy outage with my mom and dad and me and my brother doing fishing. It was just a wonderful way to have an experience and have fun. So anyway, my next guest, Jeff Goldberg. Jeff is with Fish307.com. Jeff does a wide variety of things. He can supply hardware. He also has a shop that works on trolling motors. So if you ever have a question about a trolling motor, Jeff would be the man to speak with. And he was kind enough to call in this morning. Jeff, good morning and welcome to the Fish Florida Show.
Good morning, guys. Thank you very much.
Hey, it is an honor to have you on, my friend. I know that you're up there in the New York area, right? Is that where you're at?
We're in northeastern New York State, about 60 miles north of Albany on the Vermont border. And we're 60 miles south of the Canadian border where it's currently about 25, 30 degrees. And we have 24 inches of ice on the lake, and we're ice fishing up here right now.
24 So I know this is kind of a silly question. You mentioned 24 inches of ice. How do you cut through 24 inches of ice?
With an ice auger. It's actually essentially a big drill bit.
My goodness.
You cut through the ice and you use rods that are 24 to 33, 34 inches long with a small spinning reel, and you jig for crappie and for perch, yellow perch and white perch and smelt and lake trout, actually, and salmon and pike and pickerel. So it's a lot of fun.
When you're doing this ice fishing, as I refer to it, tell me a little bit, what kind of bait are you using?
All right, that's a good question. Depending upon the species of fish, we sell what we refer to as cup, C-U-P bait, which is a mix of generally fatheads, rosy reds, which are orange fatheads, small emerald shiners, small blunt nose shiners, things that you don't get down there, cold water species. And then we also sell regular Arkansas shiners, which you do have down there because they're delivered everywhere. Little side information, Arkansas is the largest producer and supplier of bait fish in the country. It's $1 billion industry out of Arkansas. So the silver style shiners that you have in your bait shops, many of them come from Arkansas. And then we also sell suckers, which primarily come from North Dakota. And the reason why that is up here is about 10 years ago there was a scare with bait fish. They thought that they were starting to spread invasive diseases through invasive species and what have you. So what APHIS did through the federal government and the Canadians did is they came up with a program that anything that touched the Great Lakes, the bait has to be certified disease-free, meaning it has to go through a lab process and be tested before you're allowed to sell it. So all the farms now, what they do is you have to send 60 samples of a bait from a load of bait, and then that bait has to be quarantined. It takes 30 days for it to be certified that it's disease-free, and then it can be sold. So because of that, there's farms in North Dakota that farm suckers. So the suckers come from North Dakota. Shiners primarily come from Arkansas. Although Arkansas delivers to everybody, the farms are certified, so everybody gets certified disease-free bait. They just don't know it, and that's how that works. So it's a lot more complicated than it used to be.
You know, I'm amazed that you said a billion, B like boy, $1 billion industry.
In the state of Arkansas, bait is a billion with a B dollar industry.
Wow.
That's correct.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a lot bigger than people think. Think about it this way. I get a tractor trailer up here of bait every 10 days.
Lord have mercy. My goodness. I had no idea. That was a shock when you said 1 billion. That has to be a mistake. $1 billion. That is an enormous number.
Well, let me ask you this. In your geographic area and the people you deal with, I'll bet you there's 50 tackle shops in 30-mile radius, 30 to 40-mile radius.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Okay, and every one of those shops sells bait. They all, especially a little bit further north when you're getting into the freshwater, you know, they all sell those big shiners, and many of those shiners come off a truck, and that truck has bait in it from Arkansas. And so all of those people have Arkansas bait, and Florida is being the biggest fishing area or state in the country. It's really huge. Now, when you come up here during the wintertime, you know, tackle shops buy bait by the pound, so I'm buying 400 to 700 pounds of bait every week.
Wow.
So think about that. Okay, so we're a bigger shop up this way, but if you take all of those 40 shops, they're buying thousands of pounds of bait every week.
Yeah, I never considered it. It is truly, that is amazing. What if we're ice fishing and we cut a hole in the ice, and let's say you're going for a perch or something like that? How big of a fish can you expect to catch?
All right, so perch run from 7 to 14 inches generally. So you're looking at from around a quarter pound to a pound and a quarter. But remember, you're fishing with a 24 to 30 inch rod, lightweight, 2 to 6 pound test. Generally, 4 is the most popular, and so when you catch that little fish, it feels like a whale because you have very very small light tackle. So it's a lot of fun.
Wow.
You're allowed to keep 50 a day, and which is a bucket full essentially, and you get a lot of fillets off of that. It's really good. You can call it poor man shrimp. It's really good stuff.
Oh yeah, well I went had the pleasure of going ice fishing, I want to say back in 2014. It was a blast. We had drove the truck out on the ice, augered out our hole. We were there just for the daytime, so we didn't have, a huge house, so we put up the portable clamshells, and it's amazing what you can see under the water once it's nice and dark in there.
So you put up like a tent? Is that what you do?
Yeah, it's a portable clamshell, so it looks like a tent, and it zips up, so it's totally dark in there. And what happens is the natural sunlight will light up. Looks like almost the floor is lit up under you, so you can look through your hole and you can see fish.
You can see fish down in the water.
Clear as day.
Oh my goodness! Wow.
Yeah, well, most of the places you're ice fishing, the water is very clear. So with the dark, you can see down in the hole. And something that's getting more popular is the hydrolight. You can put a light down the hole, which lights everything up, and it draws the fish in, and then you can really see the fish, which is a pretty.
It's been a learning process for me this morning. I'm learning about all kinds of things. I didn't realize that when ice fishing, you could actually see the fish down there below you. That's amazing.
Yeah, during first ice, when the ice first forms, it's generally very clear ice. And if you set what's called a tip-up, which is instead of having a hand line or a little rod in your hand, they call it, or a trap. It's a device where the reel is actually in the water. That way it won't freeze because it's in the water, with a line on it and then a leader and a bait, and you just leave that, and you set a flag down, so when the spool starts to spin, it allows the flag to go up, which is which shows you that there's a fish on there. And when you tip up fish, first ice, a lot of times you'll catch a fish and you can see the fish run 100 yards. You can just see it under the ice. It's it's a little unnerving sometimes. The ice is very, very clear because you kind of look and you don't know where you are because you could be on 4 inches or 6 inches or 2 inches of ice. You're not sure at first ice. So till it starts getting not clear because of snow and what have you. So
wow.
Ice fishing's a lot of fun.
So
and it's the busiest time of year up here. I know people think that's crazy. It's not like grumpy old men, which is what everybody thinks. Because there's, technical gear. Everybody thinks, oh my goodness, you're going to be freezing cold and all of that. And how I respond to that is, if you play tennis, you have a $150 or $200 tennis racket or more. If you run, you have very expensive running shoes. Well, if you fish, and you're into it, you have better equipment, and if you ice fish, you have technical gear also. So I have a line called Striker Ice of they're like snowmobile suits, but they're made for ice fishing. I can stand out in 20 below zero weather and be perfectly comfortable.
Wow. Where the hell were you when I was in Colorado?
I was probably right here.
Oh my goodness. I loved being in Colorado. I was in the Air Force at the time. I was stationed at Denver Air Base in Colorado. Lowry Air Base, which is in Denver, Colorado. And I'm a Florida boy. I grew up most of my life here in Florida. I was shocked when it was at the end of May, the beginning of June, and it was snow flurrying. I said, oh my God, I can't. And I would freeze. I didn't know anything about layering clothes or anything like that. And they would all make fun of me because they knew about layering clothes, and they wouldn't tell me until it was too late, until I froze my behind off. But it's amazing that you can be in, what did you say, minus 20 degrees?
Yes.
Lord have mercy.
Yeah, minus 20, be perfectly comfortable.
Wow.
And I'm not even kidding. I'm not shivering, my feet are warm, my body is warm. There's a couple things about being warm. Now, I'm an avid motorcycle rider as well, okay? So things to know about being warm. Even in Florida, when the temperature drops below 70, you're on a motorcycle, it can be kind of cool.
No, you're freezing. Yeah.
Okay.
No, you're freezing.
I don't freeze even because I don't bring my winter stuff down there because I live in Jacksonville also. There's 3 parts of your body that if you keep warm, you will be warm. That's your feet. Got to keep them dry and warm. Your neck, which is the most important place to keep warm, and the top of your head. Now, and that's it. So if you put a hat on, if you're on a motorcycle, you should always wear a helmet. That's my opinion. That's what I do. But if you put a scarf or a balaclava and you put it on your neck, you will be warm. If you allow those things to be exposed, you will be cold. It's just the way that is.
It's pretty straightforward, Jeff.
You should have learned that in the Air Force. I'm sure that eventually you figured it out. You never put it directly like that, but I'm sure you figured it out.
Well, what happened was one day I was on base. I walked. Back then it was a training base, so we didn't have cars. You walked everywhere. I walked to the post office that was on base to see if I had any letters. I picked up a couple letters. I'm walking back to the barracks, and I'm walking slowly, and I'm reading as I'm walking. And all of a sudden I get to shiver. Now, when I started out towards the post office, it was like 65 degrees. In a matter of about 20 or 30 minutes, it went from 65 down cold enough to probably around 30, in the 30s. It's like here in Florida, you can be looking at a beautiful day like we're looking right now, and in 15 minutes it looks like it's the end of the world. It's storming, it's raining, and it was the same thing there, but instead of with storm and rain, it was with the cold, and I was just shocked. So I finally got back to the barracks, and they're all making fun of me, and they said to me, have you ever heard of layering your clothing? And I had never heard that before. I didn't understand what layering my clothing was. So once I learned about layering my clothing, it was a little more tolerable for me. But I never heard, never realized, never imagined that you could put something on and withstand minus 20 degrees. That's amazing.
Yeah, the funny thing about that is you have the same clothes on from 20, 30 below up to about 30 above, and you don't change your clothes. So think about that, a 50 to 60 degree span or change in temperature, and you still have on the same clothes. If you did that in Florida, you would die because you go from
absolutely
60 or 40 to 100.
Well, I'm coming up against a break, Jeff. Before we go, if people want to reach you, how do they do that?
Okay, so you can find us at fish307.com on the internet. If you're looking for parts or help with your trolling motor or downriggers, you can call us also at 800-FISH-307. And for our Florida folks, which is where you are, we have a repair facility in Jacksonville or Atlantic Beach on Mayport Road, and you can contact that place as well. You can call the 800-FISH-307 and we'll get you in contact with them.
Great. Jeff, thank you for taking the time to call in. You always have informative information for me, and I learned a little. I'm learning from everybody calling in this morning. It's wonderful. Thanks for calling in, my friend. I wish you a wonderful day. We'll be looking forward to having you back on. It is the Fish Florida Show, ladies and gentlemen. We're up against a break. Please don't go away. We'll be right back.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Jeff.
You're listening to the Fish Florida Show with your host, Briskella. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
Battles aren't won solely on the field. That's a common misconception. Battles are won within. Over enemies of fear, enemies of doubt. In that place where promises are kept. Promises to oneself.
This is a physical training event.
Promises to one's community.
Helping people move debris out of their house.
Promises to one's country. In the heart of every Marine, you'll find a promise. A promise forever kept. A promise of battles won.
You've seen how recent hurricanes have devastated whole communities, flooding and destroying homes. Join Habitat for Humanity as we work with families to repair and rebuild. You can help someone desperately in need of a place to call home. We will rebuild, but only with your help. Visit Habitat.org to support Habitat's work.
Hello, I'm Hector Elizondo, and I want to talk to you about getting older. My body hurts, my joints ache, and sometimes I forget. I forget that doing all your own scenes for a movie isn't always the best decision, especially when you're galloping high speed on a horse named Archibello. So yes, my body hurts, but it's not because of my age. It's because I'm living my life.
Don't let life pass you by. Take care of your brain health. It may just help you stay on top of your game.
Oh, Archibello!
Learn more at brainhealth.gov.
Hey y'all, Cedric the Entertainer here with Niecy Nash, taking a break from shooting The Soul Man to introduce you to Patience.
Hi.
Patience is a patient at St. Jude Children's Research Hospital.
Families never receive a bill from St. Jude for anything because all a family should worry about is helping their child live.
St. Jude won't give up until they end childhood cancer, sickle cell, and other deadly diseases.
Because of you, there is St. Jude.
Learn more at stjude.org.
My vehicle was sent 6 feet in the air in a ball of fire. I thought I was going to die.
It ripped my arm off. It broke my right femur.
I took such a hard blow to the head that my retina was torn apart.
Say a prayer for peace.
I'm Trace Adkins. I want to tell you about these true American heroes and how you can show your thanks by helping them through Wounded Warrior Project.
They reached out to us as a family, and they never forgot about us.
The job of helping thousands of our wounded warriors rebuild their lives is massive and growing every day. That's why your gift of just $19 a month is so important. Many of these service members suffer traumatic brain injury and post-traumatic stress disorder.
They helped me basically put my life back together.
If it wasn't for Wounded Warrior Project, I would be a statistic right now. I would have been one of those soldiers who came home and committed suicide.
I'm in the fields of Vietnam, the mountains of Afghanistan.
Your gift today of $19 a month can help us provide the programs and services desperately needed by our wounded service members. Call or go online with a pledge and you'll receive this Wounded Warrior Project blanket. Make that call now.
Say a prayer for peace.
It's the Fish Florida Show with your host, Riscala Stevens, bringing the outdoors to you every Sunday morning, 8 to 10 a.m. on the WDBF Radio Network. And now, your host, Riscala Stevens.
Good morning to you, everyone out there. If you're just tuning in, it is the Fish Florida Show. I am your host, Riscala, and I have my sidekick with me this morning, Devin Canhigh. Devin, tell us a little bit about the latest and greatest that's going on out there.
The latest and greatest going on out there. Like I said, the fishing is heating up. We had a great week of fishing this week. Snapper was being caught. Dolphin was being caught. You got some kingfish that were being caught there. You see the first run of them pushing down right now. They're a little bit scattered.
Smoked kingfish. I love smoked kingfish.
Nothing like some good smoked kingfish.
Man.
The dolphin have been really good too here in South Florida. And this is the time of year where all the species start picking up, and it gets better and better and better throughout the summer.
And one of the things I am enjoying right now, which is very short-lived here in South Florida, is the ability to go out there and not get eaten up by the bugs. You know?
Well, I mean, we have some great products to abate
we sure
the bugs.
do. Yep. And like I said, this is one of the few times you can actually go outside right now and not be flown away with the mosquitoes. But when that time comes, I have someone on the line with me who can offer you a product that is, and this is what I love, 100% safe. If you're using a product that has DEET, D-E-E-T in it, I advise you to be very careful. DEET is a neurotoxin. It is a poison. You're putting this stuff on your body. It can leach through your skin and enter into your bloodstream, and you can look at all kinds of problems. I have with me this morning Captain Ron. Captain Ron has a product that's called the Skeeter Beater, and he's going to tell us a little bit about it this morning. But again, my emphasis on this product, 100% safe. Safe enough to put it on a kid. If it's safe enough to put it on a child, it's safe enough to put it on anybody. Good morning, Captain Ron.
Good morning. How you guys?
We are doing good, my friend. How are you, man?
Good. I just wanted to say this morning that me and my family, and I feel many of our listeners, are praying for those families down in Florida that lost their child.
Thank you.
That terrible school shooting, and we're all praying for you.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Well, we can use all the prayers we can get.
Yes, sir. And, well, getting back to Skeeter Beater, my wife and I just returned back from the big fishing and hunting expo up in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. And it was absolutely one of the best shows we've ever done. Anytime that you can sell an insect repellent when it's freezing cold and snow and ice outside, that must be a great product. So
you aren't kidding. Aren't kidding.
We had people coming in, and they were saying absolutely. They had been to the Outer Banks. They had bought it. They were there was a lot of game wardens there. There was a lot of professional people there, and they all had one thing to say: your product absolutely works. There's no doubt about it.
That's awesome. Now tell us a little bit more about Skeeter Beater. I know you have a sunblock also, but the Skeeter Beater,
yep.
Is it a lotion you put on, or is it available in the spray form also?
Well, what we have now is we have a complete line, which is what we've been looking for since we began this project. We now have Skeeter Beater in the spray, which is a 4-ounce bottle. We have it in red or camo. It's the same formula, except some hunters and some fishermen like the camo bottle, which I prefer myself. We now have a pet formula, which is twice as strong. And all you pet owners, I know that you've experienced hot spots on your dogs, and so you just take and just put a little bit of this product on there. It gets rid of the hot spots, the fleas, the ticks, everything.
Wow.
My little puppy absolutely had a hot spot, and we got rid of that. We have a sunscreen now with SPF of 40. Now, the difference between our sunscreen and everybody else's, you can actually go swimming with ours and come out and still be protected from the sun and the bugs. That is a cream. It is doctor formulated. It is totally safe to put on children. And I know with your season coming up, just like with our season coming up, we're already inundated with phone calls for the sunscreen. And I ran a charter boat in South Florida, and I know it gets hot. And if I had an SPF down there, especially when I was around those mangroves, where I could be protected from the sun and the bugs, would have been a real big blessing.
Or you aren't kidding. There were days when I was down in the Keys, and we go, mangrove fishing is a lot of fun. But when it's mosquito season, you get it within 200 or 300 yards of them, and they just completely saturate you. And back in those days, I didn't know any better. Unfortunately for me, I wore stuff like DEET, that OFF, I think is what it's called, that has DEET in it. And it's not good for you. It really isn't. And now that I've gotten a little older, a little wiser, and understand how precious life is and how quickly it can be taken from you, we quickly trust these big names that are out there to do stuff for us, but we really don't look into them. And then I find out about something like Skeeter Beater. I go, oh my goodness, man, this is really what people should be focusing on. Something that can be put on your body and you don't have to worry about toxins. We're inundated with our environment with toxins everywhere, whether that is, toxins in the air that we breathe, or toxins in the water that we drink, or toxins in the food that we eat. It's everywhere. It's just part of our planet nowadays. And anything that you can do to reduce the amount of toxins going into your body will help you in the overall scheme of things. And this is a product that is safe for children. If it's going to be safe for a child, you can bet on it's going to be safe for you. You can bet that it doesn't have toxins in it. And with the testimonies that Captain Ron has, you can find the evidence that this stuff really works. That's great, because you can make all the claims in the world, but if you don't have any testimonies to back that up, you don't have any evidence to back up the claims, then it's kind of invalid. Here we have the claims, and we have the testimonies, and we have people who are telling you this stuff, not only does this stuff really work, it is a fantastic product. I think it's great about the sunblock, because here in Florida,
you need that year-round. You need sunblock year-round. So that's a great product you guys have to offer to our South Florida fishermen. Captain Ron.
Well, I do appreciate it. We do have candles out now, too. And the candles make it just an addition to the things. Just, if people that like to sit on their back deck, read a book, have a glass of wine, maybe a beer, or whatever that you'd like to do, I mean, you can sit there and it won't interrupt your outdoor activity. So if you and the kids want to cook out hot dogs and hamburgers, you can set the candle there, and it keeps the area smelling nice and bug-free, which is a great thing. We talked to a lot of people from Canada that have lodges up in Canada. They said, you can't sit outside and enjoy a burger or anything out there. They said, because if you do, the mosquitoes and stuff will carry you away. So, it's the same way in Florida, the same way in Canada. It's, they have a short season where you have a long season, but it's still the same principle. You still want to sit outside and enjoy yourself, but we're offering a product now that you can do that. In fact, I'm already starting to take orders here in North Carolina, and I'll give you a quick fishing report. It's being cold.
Hey, I want to ask you while I'm thinking about it, Captain Ron, while I'm thinking about it, let me ask you this. The Skeeter Beater product, is it scented?
Yes, it is. It smells just like flowers.
Wow.
It's got a very nice, you go into a flower shop and you'll smell geraniums and smell like rosemary and stuff like that. That's exactly what it smells like. It smells a little sweet at first, but it does dissipate. And like I said, there's another guy that we partnered up with, and we're kind of working with him as the Fish Candy and Adopt a Cop USA. All three of us are working together, and we're trying to organize a big fishing tournament in Florida to where we can get a bunch of the kids out and the police officers out, and all of us have a big fishing tournament along with their families. So we'll keep you updated on that. That's going to be a really big thing for Florida.
That's an awesome thing. I have a tournament coming up in 2 weeks, so I'm excited to, I'll get with Victoria and we'll see if we'll put your product to the test, because it's an inshore tournament we're fishing. So I'm going to be, on the flats up in those areas where there will be the bugs.
Yes, sir. Let me ask you one thing. Are you going to be fly fishing?
Not fly fishing, no, because I catch everything but fish when I fly fish. Catch myself.
Yeah, that's me. That's me too. I catch everything but fish. I catch the bushes. I catch the back of my pants.
I sure do.
Caught my shirt sleeve, but so basically, I do this. I kind of take the fly and kind of throw it out there, and that's about the experience of my fly fishing.
I'm very good with all the other lures, from topwater to suspended to soft plastics to hard plastics. So I'm really good at working the water table like that. I haven't fly fishing is just not something I got into or have got into. to try yet, and it's just another $1,000 I can spend on doing that.
Right, exactly. And we'll get rid of Victoria, and we'll get you set up because I like to get especially everybody at the tournament. I like them to be happy and safe, and something they can put on themselves where they won't have to worry about is this okay for my child? Am I worried? Is the sun? Because some of these products, the sun actually works against you and not with you.
Yeah,
like ours actually, when you're out there, it actually works for you a lot better in the sun than a lot of the other products do. So we're trying to create something that's safe.
Absolutely, and I've always been torn between, hey, I have to have sunblock and I have to have bug spray on the boat. Now your product is a solution. It has both all together. You have, and a lot of the, even so, a lot of the bug sprays, even if they have SPF in it, it's a very low SPF. So for your product to have an SPF 40, and on top of that, be able to have the bug protection, what a great product.
And waterproof. And waterproof on top of that.
And waterproof.
And waterproof.
Water and waterproof.
And waterproof. So if somebody's interested in getting some Skeeter Beater, tell them where they can find you.
Okay. Well, you can either call me if you like. My area code is 252-475-0244, or you can go to our website, which is www.obxskeeterbeater.com. And we look forward to having a great season. We look forward to meeting new customers. I hope to be back down in Florida. I'm going to try to get down there before the middle of summer because I know how hot it is in the middle.
It sure is.
I'm basically trying to come to Florida before the heat really gets hot.
You know what the wonderful thing is, Captain Ron? I will trade that heat for the blistering cold of the winters you guys get up north. Even in North Carolina, I was in Virginia last year, and I saw 12 inches of snow, and that was enough snow for me for the rest of my life.
Ouch!
Hey, I was in Pennsylvania, and I saw the same thing. I felt the same way you did. I couldn't wait to get back to North Carolina. The people up there were absolutely wonderful. But the weather with that snow, sleet, and freezing rain and that wind blowing, no, that's not my cup of tea either. So that's why I'm kind of in the middle in North Carolina. I'm not too hot, not too cold, so I'm we're kind of happy right here. And we invite y'all to please come up to the Outer Banks. Maybe not in the summer, but maybe in the fall. We can all get to organize a trip up here and all go fishing together.
Absolutely.
I love that idea. One more thing while I'm thinking about it, Captain Ron, Skeeter Beater. It is, if we wanted to do a Google search, if we don't have the app, by the way, the app is free, ladies and gentlemen. It is absolutely free. There's no cost to download the app, but if you don't want the app for whatever reason, and you do a Google search for Skeeter Beater, how do they spell Skeeter Beater?
If you would type in MO''S OBX Skeeter Beater, SKEETERBEATER.com.
There's
also on our website. There's also a commercial that can show you all the applications of what you can do for Skeeter Beater. Oh, here's one thing I forgot to mention. Now, we do sell Skeeter Beater in larger quantities. Now, a lot of I know Florida has a lot of fish camps, and we have a lot of outdoor restaurants here on the Outer Banks. What we found out, you can actually take Skeeter Beater and put it in a pump sprayer and actually spray around your railings and around your steps, and you will be protected from the bugs. So you can sit it in bug-free, and you don't even have to put Skeeter Beater on, but you can protect your restaurant, your fish camp. It's already been done in Florida, so It's been done here in North Carolina.
Well, Captain Ron, I'm out of time. The show is coming to an end. I want to thank you for taking the time to call in. I really like your product. I like the idea that it's 100% safe. If you want to reach him, you can find him Skeeter Beater. It is the Fish Florida Show. We will be back in a week. Thank you for listening.